ball conjures up memories from the old unlimited home run days of the 80s and 90s, where hitters would take that good straight line swing A to B, extending, driving, and torquing the wrist to get that bat to travel from line back through impact, and they would cut through a part of the ball, generally speaking the lower third of the ball, creating underspin and long home runs. When the game changed around 2000 and went to more limited home runs, what a lot of rec players don't understand is that the pros continue to use that same straight line A to B swing, except when they start aiming at the top of the ball or the middle of the ball to create underspin or neutral spin, keeping line drives in the park, placing it. And what they did was they changed the body angle, sometimes getting more vertical and developing a level, maybe even a downswing, a slight downswing, which is a very advanced skill for higher level rec players and for, of course, all the pros. This way they've been able to use the same tempo, the same velocity of the swing, yet keep it in the park and control it quite well. It gives you the most power because you get the rotation, the wrist snap within the rotation of the hips, that double pendulum. But also it's a straight line swing, so it's the most consistent. Whatever you aim at, you're going to find that you're able to deliver it. Hello everybody and welcome to Season 4 of Swing Makeover. We want to thank you all for viewing. We're approaching 3.5 million views. We want to thank Meridian for being our main sponsor. They're back with their new lineup of bats and the great senior Juggy. Also, Bob Russell's been a partner of ours for 15 years, the evil BP balls, and we're glad to have him aboard. Nobody makes a better quality batting practice or game ball. And Shirts and Logos designing all the shirt wear that we wear in our outfits for Swing Makeover. They're now licensed apparel for TPS and for Meridian, which we're very excited about seeing what we get this year for new clothing and what they can do for you as a recreational player. What rec players started to do, and I think it's because of the baseball background, they started to develop an inside-out swing. And the inside-out swing basically means that everything looks about the same, but there's a drag of the knob up in the air, the bat head dips. There might be a wrist snap at the end, which gives a little bit of a second level of bat speed, but there's definitely a loop in this swing. The swing is dragged too far before the top arm extends and snaps. They have an inside-out swing, they lack the top arm extension. There's a lot of guys that can hit the ball great. I've seen guys hit the ball over 400 feet with it, guys that have good consistency with it. But for most of the rec players, it's far better off to develop the pro style of swing. And as age and injury creep in, we find that inside-out swing becomes a lazier drag. We wonder where our power has gone to, and we have inconsistency because that bat head can dip even more if we get too much pull. Really the main difference between the inside-out swing and the great pro swing is that drive and extension and snap of the top arm and keep that bat on a straight line. You get more power because there's that double pendulum, the rotation of the wrist sharply within the rotation of the hips. And because the bat's on a straight line, wherever you aim, there's not that dip. It's a good straight A to B drive. This past winter, Brett Dest and I have worked on developing a lot more drills, tools, and techniques to develop this pro swing. Using the new drills and the tools, the lessons we gave in January were just outstanding. So we're going to take the next 4 Swing Makeover episodes and we're going to break down this swing using the drills, the tools, and we're going to teach you how to go ahead and make that changeover from the inside-out swing to the pro style of swing where you can drive and cut through the part of the ball you want to attack. I had the opportunity to meet up and film and interview 2 of the most powerful hitters in the game today. One of them, from the young guy standpoint, is Ryan Harvey. After a 10-year minor league career, he finished an outstanding major league season in the pro softball circuit. And the other one is 57-year-old Bob Woldyke. Bob was on the Long Haul Bombers and one of the most powerful seniors I've ever seen. And they both had very similar views on how to get extension and snap to cut through the ball and drive it long ways. Ryan that day hit 4 over a second fence, which all of them exceeded 500 feet, and Bob certainly was well into the mid-400s. Absolutely amazing.
Look.
Got a swing?
Ow!
Dan would have had it.
That was just rocket right there, huh? Against Wally. You remember that, Wally?
Good shot.
You hit that ball by him next time Wally came. Used to it.
Slider.
He wasn't ready for a strike.
Had a little hook on it. Oh, that's well struck.
Oh boy,
That's going to
that might be another diamond, man.
Nice shot. That's a good shot. That one got my attention, Ryan. I'm glad Ned left. You guys would have gotten into a fight.
What?
Oh.
guys. I played with his. Actually, that's a good strength swing.
You talk about a conversion going from baseball to softball, and what was it for you?
It was more of you know, being taught that your bottom hand actually starts the swing from a standpoint, and then your top hand is what helps release the barrel through contact, and what, you know, gets that snap through the ball. And then, you know, a lot of people don't really, they won't release the bat at contact, so they'll be stuck here, and then they'll either fall off here or they'll just continue up and through. They never really release the bat through contact, and where you get that power is that snap right at contact.
And you're saying the same thing that I'm just in different terms, like you hold the bat with your lead hand. When you say now release and hang on to it with your lead hand, for a lot of rec guys, they get right here and they don't snap till way late. And you just naturally, like you and Woldyke, all the great hitters I see, you know, boom, that wrist pops, you know, and it brings that bat ahead like you're hitting a tennis backhand. Is that something you feel like you had naturally, or is that something you actually worked on? In baseball, did you have an inside-out swing? Did you have good power in baseball?
Oh yeah.
Nothing like now though, did you?
Yeah, I was still hitting the ball. I think the furthest one that they were able to measure was 475, and it's, you know, it's more of, you want to stay inside the ball as opposed to out and around the ball. Out and around the ball, you'll get that snap, but you won't have any power behind it. When you stay inside the ball, you know, your hands stay
Meaning you get some straight line extension forward, and then you snap.
And then you snap through. The longer you wait to snap the bat through and to release your hands, the more power you're going to get. So if you're releasing, you know, right here, you're going to be out and around it, and you're going to hook it. You're going to, you know, ducktail it, and you're not going to get that release through the ball with the distance that
but if you can get a little bit, are you saying you can get a little bit more extension further and still have a lag, then trigger that snap later?
Yeah.
Makes your timing better.
You want to wait as long as possible, and then at contact, then you snap and stay through it.
But you're snapping here and driving it here. You're hitting and driving it here. You're not doing this.
No.
You're doing out and snapping, and everything's going forward.
Yeah.
That's why you're getting all your weight into it, and the ball just comes off your bat like, but that's because, you know, we're doing this.
Yeah.
We're not doing this.
Yeah.
We're doing out here and getting arm extension, snapping it here.
Yeah.
And it's releasing. You're talking about snapping with your wrist. Releasing is the same thing. It's here. Snap, boom, boom, and you're driving it forward.
And so the rec guys you see that don't do that, lots of times you can push as hard as you want. Bob, I know you're a big advocate of the top hand being a power to hammer. I agree totally. But with a lot of the rec guys you see, they lock that left wrist, and even you can drive all you want, and it just pushes the whole mess out of the way. Release, you know, like you said, the term release, we're going to use a frisbee, we're going to use a racket, a ball, or a tennis racket to teach that. But that release point is what most rec players, I don't think it's hips, anything else. I think the lead wrist blocks most rec swings I see. And that's basically what you're saying about that lead wrist too.
Yeah, your lead wrist usually just brings the bat into it, and then your top end snaps both. Gets them both going. Your power comes from here.
And you can do this, Wally. You can do this. One way to do that is to leave your lead wrist limp. Do you feel like you leave your lead wrist limp, Ryan, and drive your top hand past?
Yeah, I feel more of my top hand than I do my bottom hand lead.
And Wally, I know from your video and your teaching, you feel the same way. Do you basically feel your left wrist is kind of a no thought process in your swing?
Right. It brings your bat forward. Without, if you start you're just pulling the bat knob of the bat forward to here, then your top head snaps both